Hello everyone, welcome to a new studio vlog. I'm coming to you today fresh-faced, no makeup. I rolled out of bed, but I did take a shower today, so I'm not that haggard. But it is a Saturday and I'm taking the day to really just make art for the most part. I have a lot of different things in progress. I have sort of things happening in my sketchbook. I have things happening in my art journal. I have things happening outside of an art journal. All of the things are happening, but what I have realized in this little art session here, my little takeaway, I'm gonna refer you back to the last studio vlog where I started talking about making art outside of my art journals. So basically working outside of a book, which is very rare for me, not something that I do typically. Most of my mixed media work lives inside of either like a mixed media sketchbook or a altered book, a book that I've altered into an art journal. And when I'm done with the artwork, you know, like I'll scan it. Sometimes I make stickers out of stuff. Sometimes I make, a long time ago, I used to make postcards out of it, whatever. And then that's pretty much it. It would just live in the book and game over, that's it. But now, as I've been kind of expanding my work a little bit more, participating in some in-person sort of events. I have a big art walk that's coming up. I have been really motivated to work outside of books lately, to have actually like finished pieces of artwork, which is very different for me, very different. That said, I have literally piles of things all over the place. My studio is a hot mess, along with lots of Etsy shop things happening back there. We'll get to all that Etsy stuff a little bit later, but just been taking the time to make art today. And I think what I have learned, what my little takeaway in this moment is, yes, we're kicking this video off, right, with the takeaway. I am developing things on a smaller scale in my sketchbook or art journal first. Then I'm finding I can take the concepts and even like the central sort of imagery out of these smaller sort of spreads and then apply them into larger pieces of artwork. Here's what I mean. I had worked on a journal spread about a week ago. It was just kind of a random like thing. It just kind of came about. But I had all these really cool like fish heads in here, lots of dead fish. Not surprising at all that this is the direction that I took this in. But I have all these really cool like fish heads, which I think is a lot of fun. And it made me realize, what if I took these fish heads that I have previously sketched in a sketchbook? So it was like I drew the heads in a sketchbook first. Then I painted them into this to see how it would look sort of in like a mixed media spread sort of deal, which I'm really liking. And I have more to do on this. You can see that there's like some shapes that I've added in the background here. I'm gonna come in and paint a bit more on top of that. But I liked this imagery so much that then I realized I could put this on top of this other spread that I have sort of in progress. So I thought this could be really fun to do the fish heads in this, either in a different colorway or maybe even the same colorway, and just sort of experiment with how it looks in this. And it's just a separate sort of paper spread that I'm kind of working on. So that's kind of that one. That's the swimming with the fishes kind of vibe there. And then as I was working on filming a video for Patreon, I have a sketchbook club on Patreon that I started in January of 2022. And it's basically one sketchbook that I work in and that I film everything for Sketchbook Club. It's basically it's an extra video for anyone who's on the $15 tier. They get access to those videos that's just for them. While I was sort of filming that and playing around in my sketchbook, I kind of created two separate spreads. One has this really cool like wolfy guy in it, which you would have seen. And I've added, here, let me actually pick this up for realsies here. So I have this sort of like wolf guy up here that I sketched, which I think is really cool. And I thought, you know what? I would love to take this wolf guy and put him into his own spread, which I already have going in this one. So I thought that that would be kind of cool. So again, it's like I'm developing things and sort of reusing things. Not in a sense that I don't think the meaning or the imagery gets watered down, but I think I'm really trying to like work it out a little bit in different forms before it ends up back sort of on a final like piece, I guess. So I have that little spread that I'm kind of working on, and I've already created the transfer for it. So what I do is I'll just take the transfer that I've created right out of my sketchbook and then transfer him into the journal spread that I have going on. Another example here is another spread that I was working on, also in my sketchbook club sketchbook. All of these videos are on Patreon. Is I have this one. This was a separate illustration that I had done previously when I was trying to figure out my Ouija goat guy. These are stickers that are actually in my Etsy shop. But I started playing around with these like Venus flytrap kind of things. Just again, this just started as a playful sort of sketchbook sesh. Really liking the way that those look. And I lifted the drawings out of those. So here's all the drawings. Again, this is just traced off of my original sketch from out of my sketchbook. And then I thought I want to put those into this spread. So I have this little spread that I've started that I thought could be really cool. Put the little Venus flytraps in there, sort of like crawling out of here, which would be sort of interesting. So I get to kind of play with it on a small scale here. Then I thought, you know what? They would also look really cool in this other piece that I have been working on forever. I started this like 1,000 years ago. We've got like some dead bird action, some rib cage action, but I didn't really know like what direction to take this in. So now I'm thinking, I think the Venus flytraps might be kind of cool to have sort of crawling out on this side over here with some of like the little thorny thorns sort of flying out and through the bird and sort of off the composition that way. So it's got me kind of excited, this like playtime. Puppy, don't itch. Yeah. Anyways, this little art sesh has been really interesting. I've worked out a lot of kinks and just experimenting with a lot of different ideas, laying this imagery that does have a deeper meaning for me that I keep to myself. You guys don't need to know that. But really playing with it, first in a sketchbook, then into a smaller scale art journal, and then seeing, can I bring it over into these sort of larger pieces that I have in progress? And it's like the Venus flytrap thing, like this just feels like it will be so seamlessly painted into this. Like it was almost like this was just waiting for that final piece to add there. So yeah, I have like 1,000 things in progress, both just art journal spreads. I'm at the tail end of finishing up this sketchbook club video, so I'll probably just wrap that up real quick now, which is good because that will be for the August sketchbook club video, because again, I do that every month. Some of these smaller ones in progress, which would be really fun, and then the larger pieces that I kind of have in progress. So just a lot of things going on, but really good, productive, rewarding art time, which I'm very, very happy about. The other really exciting thing that I have to tell you about is a upcoming shop update. You guys, I ordered prints. They're like really fancy postcards, but they're basically prints. And it's my very first time ordering art prints. And let me tell you, I am so excited about it. So I'm definitely gonna show you guys what those prints are in this vlog because my goodness, I am really excited about it. First time ever getting prints like this. And I'm really hyped. Okay, I am gonna go walk the dog and maybe do some reading because it is a Saturday, so I should try to enjoy part of my day. I can't work the entire day. Then later tonight, I think we're gonna go see the Haunted Mansion movie, which you know, it's probably not gonna be very good, but you know, I can't skip a Haunted Mansion thing. I have to go see it. So that's what's going on. Lots of good creative work. Hold on. We interrupt this vlog because an Amazon package has arrived. How stinking cute are these? I will put links to these in my Amazon storefront and down below, but how cute is this? Okay, so hear me out. A couple of things. Number one, I was kind of realizing that I really wanted to create like a book of shadows because this little witchy gal over here, my little notebook, or my little book, my little journal that I have set out this year for my tarot stuff, it's doing the job. But because it's dated, I find myself skipping a lot of pages. Like when I do tarot spreads and I journal the tarot spreads, it definitely is great and I love this paper. It's all good. However, I'm just realizing that I need a little bit more space, and I also just need more space for other like witchy things in my life. And it just made me realize, like, I think I just need to have a little book of shadows. Like, the time has come. I thought it would be fun to do like a composition notebook, book of shadows, and just like jam pack it with stuff and make it all messy and crazy. So I got this really cute one that has the little frog on the cover. And then I also got roped into this one that has, the little witches on it, which is actually really cute. Even on the back it says miscellaneous magic, which is definitely my vibe. Yeah, I'm gonna just turn this into like a very collage-y, crazy book of shadows, also like personal tarot work, all that stuff. And I may even, like the tarot spreads that I have in here and notes that I've taken and stuff, I may tear the pages out of this and put it into this bigger sort of Book of Shadows situation. Although I will tell you, I'm very tempted to turn one of these into like my book journal because I've gotten really big into reading lately. I set out a book goal for myself this year, a very easy, low stress sort of goal of 15 books. And I am on track and actually ahead of that goal at this current point in the year. And that's because in the last like 2 months or so, I've made a conscious effort to put down my phone and pick up a book instead. And it really made me realize how much time I waste on my phone. It's kind of crazy. I've even created like a little dedicated shelf in my living room that has sort of like my TBR pile. I've been trading books with a girlfriend of mine, which has been really fun, hitting up the library, listening to audiobooks. So I've just been like rotating between like physical books, audiobooks, a lot of books going on at one time. And I'm just really, really enjoying it. I feel like it's such a better use of my time. And it's just so much better for like my brain. Like my brain really enjoys that, reading books and not just scrolling mindlessly on Instagram. It's been really nice. Sorry, yeah, I was gonna go read and talk to you about books for a second, but I got distracted because of my new composition books that came. I don't know which one I'm gonna turn into my Book of Shadows first. I really do like the witches though. They're a lot of fun, but that could also be a really fun like book journal and turn this little frog into my Book of Shadows. Either way, my Book of Shadows stuff is going to be a very off-camera thing, not something that I'm gonna share, much like my tarot journal, something that's very off camera. So we have this pretty amazing built-in bookshelf situation in our living room. Look, it's me and the TV, where we have kind of like older books and some DVDs, family pictures, the Emmy, and then a lot of comic books and whatnot. But I cleared off a little space over here for kind of my TBR pile, which I am excited about. Just thought I would talk about books for like a hot minute because this is like my new thing. I just picked up this Riley Sager book from the library, The House Across the Lake. I've heard very mixed things about this, but I want to give this a go. It's been on my list for a while, so I picked that up from the library. I did finally cave and I got Fourth Wing. People say this book is amazing. Let me tell you, I'm not a fantasy girly, okay? Not usually into fantasy stuff, but the reviews on this and what everyone is saying is kind of crazy. And it's exciting to know that the second book is coming out soon. So I don't know. I just am like kind of excited to give that a try. So that is definitely in the pile. This whole thing here is my TBR. I threw the bell jar in here because I read this a long time ago and I remember really, really loving this book. So I've added it back in here as just like a reread. This might get yanked out, I don't know. We've got Daisy Jones and the Six because this is some of my finished books over here, although I'm halfway through Malibu Rising, so I'm not done with that one yet quite yet. I read Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I loved this book. This was a 5-star for me. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I got through this in like less than a week, that's really fast for me as a new to book person and a mom, and I do all the things at home. I'm a very busy person, so finding time to read books, it's very challenging. But anyways, I love this book. So I wanted to pick up some other Taylor Jenkins Reid books. So that is what inspired me to grab Malibu Rising. This is what I'm currently reading. I'm pretty deep in. I'm very much enjoying it. Really fun summer read. Sorry, I'm bouncing between things that I've finished and then my TBR, which is making this very complicated. I have these two Lisa Jewell books, Then She Was Gone and After the Party. This was something that I traded with my girlfriend. I sent her some books. She sent me these two, so that's kind of in my pile. Still Life is in my pile. I got this out of a little library. I got this out of a little library in town. I was intrigued because I think there's an art historian that's in it, or it's got some art history kind of woven into the story. So, as a art historian, as a art history major, I was very intrigued by this. Will this stay in this pile? I don't know. Still Life and the Bell Jar might get rotated out with other things that is sitting on my wish list on Amazon and Audible and all sorts of things. And then I have just some other like comic book sort of reads that's in this pile. This isn't a comic book, but this is Walt's Disneyland, which is a walk in the park with Walt Disney. It's kind of just really about the park history and whatnot. Something that anytime I can read about Disneyland history, I love that. I have Ghost World in here. This is something that I was reading as part of my comic book club on Patreon, but I'll be honest, I've kind of abandoned it. It's weird. I've read this before, but when I went to go reread it, I wasn't enjoying it. And I don't know if it's just because I had stuff going on, or maybe like I'm old and a mom now and I'm like, do I not like Ghost World anymore? What is wrong with me? I don't know. A couple of other comic books in my pile is The Many Deaths of Layla Starr. I'm really excited to give this a read. The artwork looks beautiful. Harrow County, book 1 and 2. Very spooky, fun time. I may save this for spooky season to make my little spooky TBR pile. And then Paper Girls. I've had this forever and I've yet to actually read it. Oh, this is Paper Girls too. Uh-oh. I better go find the other one. I have the other one somewhere. Is it over here? Okay. Why do I have Paper Girls 2 but not Paper Girls 1? Am I crazy? Oops, here it is. Paper Girls 1. Paper Girls 1 and 2. In the pile. James read these a long time ago, but I had not read them yet, so that's definitely in the pile. So I've got a good little mix of things here. I'm still, you know, like having a TBR pile is still like very new to me, and like wish listing things and trading for things and finding things used and library and just all that. But I'm having a lot of fun like giving myself like a little nook. I may even take over the bottom shelf too, I don't know. But it's been really fun doing that. 2 other recent reads that I really enjoyed. Mexican Gothic. Oh my God, I love this book so much. If you are a horror fan, this is just a good old haunted house, creepy family, horror story. I love the main character in this. She is fantastic. She just has such a great vibe. This book is spooky. It gave me nightmares for several days. It was awesome. 5 out of 5 stars. I effing love this book so much, and I'm passing it on to my friend, who I hope she will love it as well. Another book, I actually read this last weekend. I read this in about 3 days. It was very short and easy for me to get through while we were on a little staycation. It is Our Wives Under the Sea by Julia Armfield. This book is beautiful, absolutely stunning. Follows the story of 2 wives, one wife that is at home and the other one who is I guess she's a marine biologist. She's like a marine explorer of some sort. She gets stuck in a submersible for months at a time under the sea, and she comes back and she's not quite herself. But the way that the story is told, it bounces between Mira and Leah, the 2 wives, and Mira, who stays at home, dealing with sort of like how her wife has changed and, you know, calling back to previous memories in their relationship. And it's just really beautiful how it bounces between the 2 characters. It's just a really incredible story of, it's obviously just, it's a beautiful love story, but it covers a lot of like grief and loss and change, and it's both just sad and slow but beautiful all in the same time. This was a 4 out of 5 stars for me. I thoroughly enjoyed this and I would recommend this as well. Yeah, really, really love this book. So anyways, that's kind of like my 3 recent reads. I am not becoming a booktuber, but I'm just telling you all the things that I've been into lately, and that is books. I am a book girly now. Who knew? But right now I'm gonna go have a chill on the couch and read a bit of Malibu Rising, which I am very much enjoying.
Also, I'm often asked where I find English. I got these plants here to find all these ugly tubes. Tell me about it.
Called arrogant and pompous, I'd have to assume.
I decided to do some work outside today. It's been a pretty productive day. The first part I was in my studio, got a video edited and scheduled for Patreon, so a new vlog will be up on August 1st. Got digital downloads scheduled for August 2nd, so like Patreon's kind of already scheduled, which is really nice, at least for next week. Dante is laying in front of me. His tail is just wagging like crazy. I spent some time making some art this morning, getting kind of some of those images transferred over that I was kind of talking about before, getting them onto some of those separate sort of pieces that I'm working on, and into some art journal spreads as well. And then after kind of doing some work in my studio, I decided to actually go outside, which was really nice because it's very hot out. It's full-blown summer. So I went outside and brought, you know, my, I had a bunch of outlining to do. So I brought out, you know, my little palette with some ink and my book for during my lunch break. And while I was painting, I was finishing up listening to my audiobook that I've been listening to. I always have a couple that I kind of bounce between. I feel like I'm reading like 5 books at one time right now. But my dog walking book, so whenever I have to walk the dogs, this is the book that I listen to when I'm walking the dogs, was It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. This was on my TBR for a really long time because I feel like I couldn't escape it. Like everyone was talking about it, you know, it's in the window of Barnes & Nobles and has been for like ever. So it's been on my TBR for a really long time. But my girlfriend told me to read Verity first. So I actually read Verity before I read this. And Verity was decent, a little bit of a wild ride. I described that book as like a car crash that like I was driving by it and like couldn't look away sort of situation. Like I got sucked into the story and it was like, is this a bad book? I don't think so, but also like it's so out there. I mean, it's not super out there, but it just was like the drama and like the story and like the spice. It was so spicy. It was kind of the first like real spicy book that I had read like ever. It was very funny having that like on speaker, like on my phone as I'm like washing the dog, and it would like hit certain scenes and like my neighbor was like taking out the trash cans and I'm like, oh God, trying to get to my phone and like turn it off so I don't sound like a crazy person grooming my dog and listening to the spiciest book ever. Anywho, I listened to Verity and I think I ended up giving that like 3 out of 5 stars. Like it wasn't bad, but it wasn't great, and it was still like, what did I just read when I was done with it? So after reading that, then I started, and I say reading, I listened to Verity. It was a pretty good audiobook. The narration was pretty good. Then I decided to move on to the next Colleen Hoover book, which for me was gonna be It Ends With Us. And I just like, I hate it. I hate it. Obviously I didn't hate it that bad that I finished it, but I think I just got to a certain point where I had invested so much, and I feel like I'm more likely to abandon a physical book if I hate it versus an audiobook. I will tough it out a little bit longer. I just feel like I just kept rolling my eyes with this book. I just was like, what? What? No. I found all of the characters very unlikable. All of them very unlikable, and I just eye roll. That's the only way I can describe how my experience was with this book. I just feel like I kept rolling my eyes, and frankly I don't really understand the hype behind this book. So I'll tell you what, it made Verity look real good after reading It Ends With Us. So I think I'm gonna take a break on Miss Colleen Hoover because I don't know if I vibe with her books necessarily. That is my quick review on that. By the way, also this morning I spent some time cleaning up my Goodreads because I found that I had all these lists for books all over the place. I was bookmarking things on Audible, I was bookmarking things on Amazon. Not that I was gonna buy them on Amazon, but just as like a place to just be able to pull up my phone and like have a list of things that like I'm looking for, that I want to add to my pile, especially with fall around the corner. I definitely want to have like a really nice, fun, spooky TBR pile like on my little bookshelf. I just kept having these lists all over the place, and then finally was like, you know what, let me clean up my Goodreads and add everything there and make like a spooky list, like a priority book list, update my current reads, all that stuff. So it was really nice to actually like get that updated today. Goodreads is in good shape. I'll put a link down below to my Goodreads if you want to follow me there, or I want to follow you too because I want to see what you're reading and just add to my never-ending book list. Pretty much is where I'm at. I'm back inside now after a couple of hours painting outside because it was getting a little hot out there, and I'm gonna sit on the couch and read for a little bit here until my kiddo comes back from his grandparents' house, which is probably in the next hour or so. I'm just gonna squeeze in some me time and continue reading Malibu Rising, which I am enjoying. So, yay. Well, I've just been pretty consumed by making art, even though it's not what I should be doing right now. What I should be doing is working on my Etsy shop stuff. I have all that new merch, which I haven't even shown you guys yet. The new prints and new stickers, and I need to photograph it all and make the listings, and there's just like so much to do with that. And I've kind of been avoiding it. It's just one of those things where it's like it's the task that I least want to do right now, and that is why I just keep getting distracted by doing other things. I've been working on some of those smaller little journal spreads today. Really enjoying this like kooky looking wolf guy. Definitely gonna keep working on him. I really like the way he looks and just like the scale and like the composition going so far, and I like how bold the black looks, especially seeing it on camera this way. Just gives me like new perspective on it. So I have all the little like fur bits still to add to it. Some other little ones down here. This still has a ways to go, but the illustration itself I'm happy with, and it is coming along, so I'm happy about that. I'll probably keep working on this, but I'm now very distracted because I am starving, and there is a poke bowl in the fridge waiting for me. It's like a poke salad bowl thing. What is also distracting me is that I want to finish my book during lunch. Your girl stayed up late last night because I got kind of sucked into this. Still reading Malibu Rising. I'm in the last like 50-ish pages? No, 68. I'm in the last 68 pages. Will I finish it during lunchtime? Probably not, but that is when I have allowed myself time to actually get some reading done. So I'm gonna go get my poke bowl and do a bit of reading, and then maybe this afternoon I will scrounge up the energy to start working on shop drop update things and show you guys all the new stuff too. But hey, you know what? At least I'm making art, and I'm coming off of a big weekend of art, which is nice. So always good to be making stuff. It's very important.
Appalachian sunrise meets my skin. Even with my eyes still closed, I can feel it coming in. Golden, golden, I'll follow only golden, 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 golden things. Mountain laurel high fives for miles in spring. Rainbow trout and a hummingbird wing. Golden, I'll follow only golden, golden, golden things. Gold hair, gold rings, gold leaves, gold anything, gold.
Okay, hello. I have spent so much of this vlog making art and doing things that I have not taken a moment to show you the new merch. In preparation for this art walk that I'm doing at the end of August, I decided to get some prints made, and I've never ever gotten prints made of this scale. I've gotten postcards made, I've gotten trading cards made. I've never gotten like big prints done. Well, I thought for this art walk event, it would be wise to have some prints. So I started thinking, what am I gonna get turned into a print? And I decided to look back to the tarot project, because I have these beautiful tarot cards and a project that I'm very proud of that I have not really fully merged out yet. So I decided to take 6 cards. They're probably like more newer ones, some of my favorites, and ones that I know I'm not gonna mess with. More to come on that later and in a upcoming vlog, because as part of my September-October project this year, I am not doing a sticker advent this year, and I am instead working on my Oracle and Tarot projects. So buckle up for lots of tarot card, Oracle card projects come this fall, because that's what is going to be like my Inktober project, even though Inktober is not a thing anymore. We don't talk about it, but everyone still does an October project. That's gonna be my fall creative project, is the tarot and Oracle decks, okay? That said, it had me revisiting a lot of my tarot cards and pulling out some of my recent ones, and I decided, let me get prints of these made. One of the places where I get stuff printed happen to have these large scale postcards. They are 6 inches by 11 inches in size, and I thought, That's like the exact dimensions of like a large tarot card. That's what I went ahead and ordered. So they're giant postcards, but I upped the paper quality and the finish of them. So they're like higher quality, thick. They're full blown like giant tarot card prints. So brace yourself for giant tarot cards. Here we go. I gotta change my battery just real quick, hold on. Okay, let me move the things. Oh, there's so many things to talk about. I feel like I also might need to do like a merch tour video. That might need to happen, I think, maybe when I launch all this stuff, because there's just so much stuff to talk about. Okay, hold on. Let me get them. I wanna do a cool reveal here. You know, a really cool reveal. Look at these beauties. They're literally giant tarot cards. Oh my God. I was so thrilled when I got my paws on these. Let me tell you, I quite literally cried, and getting these in my hands is what has caused me to like really come back to this project and get my together and work on more tarot cards, because just seeing these in my hands, this was the first time that I was really able to like visualize the tarot deck like in my hands, because I've never gotten any of these printed like this. I've never even gotten postcard prints of these made ever. But to see them big like this, oh my God. They're literally giant tarot cards, you guys. I like can't get over it. Let me just give you a little tour, a tour of these bad boys. But look at this. They literally are like giant tarot cards. I'm obsessed with it. So I got 6 of them made. Again, they're newer cards / cards that are just some of my favorites that I know I'm not gonna be making any changes to. We have the Star, we have the Sun, we have the Hierophant. He's a newer guy, he's newer. The Devil, this is a personal favorite. I love this card. This is one of my absolute favorites. The detailing, the goat, the wonky hands, the whole thing just makes me so incredibly happy. And the print on this came out so good. Like you see all the details, even like the torn paper in the background and like the paper splatters and stuff. The Empress, and again, they are giant, really thick. You hear that? Quality. And last but not least, we have the Magician. I love this guy. This was a really popular one when I finished making this card because of the little bunnies. People really love the bunnies on it. You guys remember those little mini stickers I made? I made little bunny mini stickers. They're based on the bunnies from this tarot card. So I'm really excited about this. I'm still working out the logistics of like shipping all this and trying to figure all that out, but here they are in all their glory. It might be the coolest thing I've ever gotten made. Honestly, I'm so proud of this. And again, it's like I have the tarot cards in my hands, and it's really making me want to revisit this project because it's so fun to see them like this. I can't get over it. Okay, so I have these big, beautiful prints, and what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sign the back of them as well. The other thing that I got made was stickers. I got little baby stickers, little tarot stickers of the same 6 made. They're in the perfect little shape, and they're on the super sturdy vinyl, so you can put these on your water bottles, whatever. They're really thick, sturdy stuff, but I got one of each of those 6 designs turned into a sticker as well. So we got the little square stickers, and then I also, 2 of my favorites from that pile, I made them into bigger, rounder stickers. We've got the Star and the Magician. Again, on the thick vinyl, so you can put them on your water bottles, on your Stanleys, on whatever, and it will survive. The tarot merch is either gonna be available at the time you see this video, or very soon thereafter when I put up a merch tour video, because I haven't done a merch tour video in a long time, and I want to kind of show off the Summerween stickers, which are back here, which turned out really cute, and I absolutely love them. But yeah, I think it might be worth me doing like a little merch tour video. So things are either going to be available now or very soon, and keep an eye out for that merch tour video. I will put a link down below, or I'll pin a comment to let you know what the whole deal is. But I will tell you, the tarot prints are very limited. I have to keep a pile for the art walk that I'm doing. There'll be a big round of stuff that will go up now, and then if I have any left over, I will then put it back up in my Etsy shop. But these prints, as you can imagine, they ain't cheap to get made, okay? Like this was quite the investment on my end, getting these really large prints made. So I didn't get a large quantity of them because I just didn't know how they were gonna do. The packaging alone, like I'm gonna have to up my packaging, like the size of packaging to get stuff shipped out. Like there's quite an investment on my end. So that being said, it's very limited quantity on these. And then I think if these do well, what I'll probably then do is do another round of them with other cards so that you can kind of collect them all if you want, with the goal kind of being, as I work towards finishing the major arcana, you can collect all of the major arcana in giant prints. That's all the new goodies. I am so beyond excited about these. I just want to frame them and hang them up all over my house because I'm absolutely obsessed. But yeah, that's kind of what's going on. That's the latest. Lots of art, and the new tarot merch is the main highlight of this whole studio vlog. But I want to say thank you for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed this vlog of lots of art making and showing off, of course, the new fun tarot stuff. Again, I'll pin a comment down below and I'll let you guys know. Oh, one other quick thing about books. I did finish Malibu Rising, by the way. I liked it. Very enjoyable. Taylor Jenkins Reid's books are really great. I think they're like very easy to read. They're enjoyable. It was a great like summer read. I very much enjoyed it. I'm now reading 2 Riley Sager books. I'm reading a physical copy of The House Across the Lake, and then I'm listening to The Only One Left. I'm enjoying both of them. As I was telling my friends, I am double fisting Riley Sager right now, both the audiobook and the physical book, but it's all good. I'm enjoying it. But I'll put a link down below to my Goodreads if you want to come follow me over there and read my reviews and stuff. I swear I'm not becoming a booktuber. That's not gonna be a thing. Is it? No, that's not gonna be a thing. Anyways, I need to go drop off orders to the post office. Thank you so much if you've ordered stuff from my Etsy shop recently. I really appreciate it. I am hustling hard over here while husband is striking and out there picketing for the WGA. So any orders and you just watching this video is a big help, so I really, really appreciate it. I'm gonna wrap this up here. I need to go to the post office. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, feel free to like this video, subscribe. I put out a new video every week. And if you're looking for more stuff to watch, lots of videos to binge watch, literally hundreds of videos to binge watch, you can hop on over to my Patreon, join in and get access to just tons of previous content. I got so much stuff over there. It's crazy town. That about does it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye! So rather than continue to just go down an internet hole, I pulled out my journal and started to journal about it. So that's the basis of this spread, is about the missing submersible. Not only the missing submersible, but in my mind, it was sort of playing out of like the craft.